Bang! Yeah, 7-1-3, don't step in this league, throwing rocks out the backboard. Living our dream, better dribble to the three, take the shot, here a Castro. And we don't even care what you say, we ain't scared of the hate, get a win in this last board. Stand in the paint, better clear out the way, hit the court with the black force energy. Every single week on a killing spree, you kidding me? You talk about winning with the epitome, you better be talking with peace and we locking the key on them. Know that it's rocking with Ryan and Donte, the drip guy, we beyond the gossip, the topics we talk on a pop and we conquering the obstacles that we cross as a team. Shot from the seats, we the Rockets like Elon. It's the H-Town run down. Let's get started right now.
Hey everybody, this is Preston with H-Town Rundown, Houston Rockets basketball podcast, and unfortunately we're flying solo today, so here we are. Hopefully you guys can hear me a little better now. But we chilling, we vibing, and we are ready to go. So last time we were here, actually make sure to follow the H-Town Rundown at the H-Town Rundown on YouTube as well as X, and the Twitter account at the HTRD. Make sure you follow us all around. Follow me at _GAWD as well on X as well as Instagram and TikTok. Now we're back. So we faced the Los Angeles Clippers a few days ago, and we haven't played since then. It's been a little bit of a treat. However, in the game against the Clippers, not too bad. Not too bad. This was a close game. Thank you, Amen Thompson, by the way, for a quick little tip in. We ended up winning this game 115-113. Thankfully, to Amen Thompson's athleticism, a way to get that rebound, much needed rebound from our guys. And it was more or less a bit of a slow night all around. Not great shooting percentages when we look at the box score here. KD 36, looking at Şengün went 9-22. Everybody else, 43, 40, 44, acceptable. I'm going back to look at the 3-point percentage, right? We were taking good looks. Nobody forcing too much, nothing too crazy, just not hitting on the attempts we wanted. We only made 12 threes this game, right? However, we kept the 3-point attempts close. That was what we like to see, was the Clippers 38 to our 34. That's pretty huge, especially for a team that doesn't take very many threes in the Houston Rockets. Very important to keep those 3-point attempts fairly close. We did better than normal in the free throw rate, though, as compared to for the Houston Rockets. Can't ever shoot these free throws. We hit 17 out of 21, right? Huge. And again, Amen Thompson and one. Thank you, Chris Dunn. Huge points here. And then looking at it all around, right? I want to talk about Amen Thompson for a little bit longer. 29-8. Had a steal. Huge play at the end of the game. Brent Şengün missed the shot, little layup, missed it, and then come flying out of nowhere, got the little tip in, and one foul, right? But back to Amen Thompson. He went 8 of 9 from the field, inside the 2-point range. Threes, he didn't make a single three, so 8 of 12 overall, but we're not even worried about that. Went 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and that's where he's making it up. We talk about great players and things that they need to do to be better, to be great. And hitting these free throws are the things that you absolutely need to do. So thank you, Amen Thompson. Again, KD as well, being great hitting free throws. Jabari hitting free throws. Şengün, 67% from free throw line. He went 4-6. He missed 2. Cool. Not too worried about that. But let's look at our defensive bits here. We were clamping the Clippers, right? We held James Harden 7 of 18 for 39%. Kawhi 9 of 22 for 41% from the field. They combined went 7 of 20 from 3-point range. I mean, that's like 34% from 3. Not great. They hit their free throws. Cool, whatever. But, I mean, defensively, wow. And then we go over to the turnover ratio here, right? Kawhi had 1 turnover. Yeah, he had 3 fouls. So that's what we're looking like, right? That's what we like to see. Chris Dunn had 3 turnovers. The ball pressure by Amen Thompson. Şengün, quick feet, right? And we're also looking at our boy, Josh. I mean, great defensively out there. A lot better than Chris Dunn, if we will be honest. And then James Harden, 4 turnovers. He averages 4 turnovers for the season. Expected, he's their main ball handler, but 4 turnovers nonetheless. And then you're looking at these ancillary pieces, right? These ancillary turnovers too from Nicholas Batum and then Mr. Sanders, right? Huge here. Surprisingly enough, Brook Lopez, we took advantage of that, right? When he was out there, minus 11. Looking at the Clippers bench as well, minus 12 for Sanders. Looking at Nicholas Batum, minus 8 in those times, right? Yikes, 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 yikes. You're able to take advantage, especially from that end. But other than it being a nice kind of grinded out win, not too much to look at other than the overall stats, right? Jabari double double, Şengün double double, Amen near triple double, Şengün 4 steals as well. Wow. And then Reed Shepard, solid 10 points. Steven Adams, and not too much to talk about there except just 2 steals. We love to see our big men getting steals. And Aaron Holiday, it's the holiday season. It's almost Christmas, so we dropped a nice little 13, right? Other than that, not too much to take away from. Let me know down below about your thoughts on this Clippers game, right? They're getting ready to blow it up, it looks like. Not too much to say other than they might fizz out, right? Is there anybody you guys think we should be looking at from the Clippers, right? We looking at James Harden, my goat, James Harden. Are we looking at guys like Zubac? I don't think we need a center. Kawhi, we got to give up way too much. Even for James Harden, we got to give up too much. John Collins sucks. I'm sorry to say that. I don't want him anywhere near whatever we got going on. So not really looking for that. But the Clippers have made it known. James Harden, Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, Nicholas Batum, Brook Lopez, recently signed, are now all eligible for trade, right? Chris Paul would be nice. Clippers sent him home. I don't know what the Clippers franchise is doing, but they sent home one of the greatest point guards ever, if not the greatest Clipper ever. Okay, so I'm looking at that. Can we take Chris Paul? Veteran minimum. We're not losing anything by taking on Chris Paul, right? And I mean, Holiday, he's great, right? Chris Paul, I think, would just be another great piece to have in the locker room, more or less. Maybe on the court occasionally, kind of helping that Reed Shepard growth, kind of helping Amen Thompson, even with the playmaking, right? How to kind of be a defender with your size. I think, again, more important for Reed than Amen Thompson. But we're talking about trades, right? We're talking about if anyone's available. These players right now, these players are trade eligible as of today, by the way. Fran VanVleet, Dorian Finney-Smith, who we still haven't seen play yet. Clint Capella, Josh Okogie, looking at Aaron Holiday, Jae'Sean Tate, as well as Jeff Green. Are we trading any of these guys? Probably not. Probably not. The only guy maybe might be Clint Capella. He's eating up $6.7 million right now. Love him. Great guy. Just hasn't been absolutely phenomenal in his minutes. But as the first time he's played on a team that's got anything other than 8 seed aspirations, shout out the Hawks. So I'm not too worried about him. I think come January, he'll kind of be more of what we're looking for. We've already seen flashes the last 4 games that he's played. But I don't think we should even be making a trade. Again, if we want to pick up somebody with a veteran option, cool. Do I love James Harden? Yes. Should we make a trade? Nah. Maybe you guys disagree, but nah. I'm not looking to trade James Harden right now, or trade for anybody, honestly. Even Kawhi Leonard's available. We just got to give up way too much. And as you see in the league today, we're looking at OKC, looking at Boston, right? Looking at Denver. Depth is everything, right? What can you do with your star on the floor? And that's what makes your team, right? Obviously, your star is a team. What can you do without your star, right? That's kind of the importance of the league right now. And again, like you're looking at Boston, yeah, they got 2 stars over there, but they have a crazy bench, right? OKC, one of the best records ever. I mean, they actually just surpassed Jordan's 72-10 Bulls record. They've got 24. They were 24-1, and both times they lost somehow was to the Spurs, with Wemby coming off the bench. But we'll talk about that later, at a later date. It just OKC is pretty good, and then again, so Boston, Denver, and OKC, right? Huge depth. Houston is right in that mix, right? We've got a lot of depth, and I mean even the Pacers when Tyrese Haliburton was there, a lot of depth, a lot of depth. These teams that don't have depth, that rely heavily on their 2 stars, they're not winning you anything, right? It's not the 90s, it's not the 2000s. not 2010s even, right? They're just not winning much these days, right? Looking at the Milwaukee Bucks, even with Giannis, they were the ninth seed. Yikes, that's incredible, right? The Bulls had a better record with Giannis on the court. The Bulls, yeah. So that says all you need to see right there. Maybe some other teams that you want to look at is Golden State to a degree, right? They had depth, right? They had some movement going along those last couple of years, but now that they've kind of lost that some of their ancillary pieces, Klay Thompson, namely, right? They haven't done much since 2023, 2024. Consistently either first or second round exit, which again, great for them. Steph's been doing his thing over there, but they just lost to the Blazers 3 times this season. They just got swept. Wow. And the Blazers are a young team, but wow. It's just not worth giving up your depth is what I'm trying to get at here. Can't trade depth for one piece that's only going to be there, maybe 80, I want to say 80, 60% of the season is not worth it, right? And are they even going to be healthy for the regular season is what it comes down to. Because we're already dealing with Tari Eason. Love him. And we've been doing great without him. We're going to be doing even better once he comes back, which news, maybe he's coming back tonight, right? Against Denver. That's what I'm hearing. So hopefully Tari Eason's coming back. I can't wait to see him play. He played his last game November 14th, a month and a day ago. Wow. So hopefully he comes back, and don't expect an explosive 20-10 and 10 game from him, right? He's going to come back. I really hope they have him on a minutes restriction. You cannot mess up an injury like his. He had that quad. We need to make sure and pay attention to this. So he's good to go for the playoffs. I'd rather him play 30 games this season and be ready to go for the playoffs. We can have full Motor City Tari, I want to see Peso Tari in full action, full energy, full strength going to the playoffs, rather than use him a lot now, get us maybe 2 or 3 extra wins, and we can't use him in the playoffs, right? This whole KD trade is about going to the finals, making it out of the first round for the first time in a few years. So we want to make sure that all of our guys are healthy and ready to go and ready to come into play. So I want that to be fresh in everyone's mind once Tari Eason comes back. But yeah, I'm excited to see him play. He started out first couple games not so great, and then after the third game of the season, he was on a tear, doing his thing, got injured. Haven't seen him since then. So hopefully he comes back and he's gonna do. I believe in Tari. He's great, especially when he's on the court. Him and Amen Thompson. I mean, wow. And look at it. Houston, the Rockets are the 3rd seed, right? We're 16-6 right now, and we haven't been healthy all season, right? Still missing Fred VanVleet, right? Tari Eason's been in and out of the lineup. Haven't even seen Dorian Finney-Smith. This team, and we've missed KD for a couple games, right? We missed Şengün a couple games, right? This could be one of the best teams going forward. Hopefully, maybe once everyone comes back. But more or less, I would like to see. Who would you like to see, right? You guys ready to see Dorian Finney-Smith in that 3-point shooting that he comes back with, or are you trying to see how Fred VanVleet comes back into the lineup, starting lineup, the bench? I don't know what he comes back to. I mean, he's currently eating up $25 million with an implied no trade clause. So, and we know he may not trade his best friend. So, we'll see what happens with all that. But I'm just looking at it, and I'm not seeing a way we make this trade for anybody, right? And when the Clippers do decide to blow it up, because they're saying that, we don't have anybody yet. There's no right price for James Harden or Kawhi. They're ready to go, right? Everyone's asking about him. They just haven't found the right price yet, and the price is going to keep getting lower and lower until it reaches a certain point. Once it gets to that certain point, they're going to give it away, right? The Bucks are looking to make a trade. Kawhi's probably going to go there, if anything. James Harden, probably a Timberwolf, right? James Harden's out tonight against the Wolves, and Rudy Gobert's out tonight as well. So that's probably going to be the big piece right there, pairing James Harden up with Anthony Edwards, and moving to Minnesota, which is just right up north of Iowa. Shout out me. And I think that's going to be a good pair, but how does that shake up the league, right? How does James Harden going to the Minnesota Timberwolves affect the league? They get a huge playmaker, right? A guy that can literally do it all, right? Steals, playmaking, scoring, 3-point shooting. one of the greatest to ever do it, right? Third greatest shooting guard of all time, greatest combo guard of all time. Next to Anthony Edwards, kind of takes all of the pressure off of Edwards, and he's going to play with more space than he's probably ever had in his career. But defensively, again, you're trading away Rudy Gobert, and you have Julius Randle to back you up. and what, you're going to start Nas at that point? Again, Nas is great. I think he's the best, still the best. Let me take it back. Second best. Shout out Steven Adams. Second best backup big in the league. You can't start him, right? Not consistently anyway, right? Because then you lose that depth. And that's what we just talked about, is depth, right? You're trading for James Harden. You're going to lose depth. If anything, I think that this might be a hot take. I'm saying it out loud. I'm thinking about it. The Wolves might get worse with James Harden. Not that they are worse off on paper, but you need defense, right? And I love James Harden. Don't get me wrong, man. I love me some James Harden. But wow. I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to shaking up the league in a way that's going to mess up, or maybe even shake up the league in a bad way, right? My bad, I got distracted. But I don't want there to be this issue where James Harden goes to the Wolves, and then now we got to face James Harden in the playoffs, right? I mean, he want to say he's a choker, say he want to say this, say he want to say that about him, but he do his thing, right? We'll see what happens. I'd like to maybe send him home. That kind of be funny, right? Left my franchise, left our franchise, and then you're going to play against us in the playoffs, right? I like to send James Harden packing. I also want him to get a ring, right? So how about you just come here, come play on a vet minimum, and we'll win easily, right? That'd be the best of both worlds right there. Play alongside KD, that'd be great. But James Harden ain't gonna do that. He's probably a Wolf, and that's gonna affect the league. Clippers, I just need you guys to do whatever you can to not give OKC the number one pick. That's it. Just don't give them the number one pick at all costs, right? You give them the top 10. Just knock on wood, please do not give them the number one pick. OKC already got way too much going on right now, right? I don't need to see any of that. We done with that. So yes, AK, I see you. I did send you that, so we should be straight. But yeah, no, I'm not seeing it in that same light, right? But coming back to the Rockets, right? Let's bring it back in. I'm not looking forward to what that means for us. I know I'm repeating myself here, but like I'm still not looking too forward to what that means for us, right? Defensively, yikes. Clippers taken out of it, which is like, again, that's great. That's one less team, but again, that offensive power to the Wolves is just that's going to be insane. And then as for Kawhi, like I said, he's probably going to the Bucks. That's where I put my money on it. I don't know. I don't think Jordan Poole is going to be. I think Jordan Poole might be a Clipper, right? I got a feeling the franchise the Pelicans have made it clear that they are going to trade Jordan Poole, right? Regardless of how he's played, he's probably going away. I think he's a Clipper. I see it. It makes sense. But that's probably where it ends, right about there. So, 1 second, folks. We're going to take a little break, and we will come back in just a few minutes. All right. And we're back. Thank you guys for coming back. So yeah, leaving off with where James Harden was at and everything like that, but we're done with that, right? Let's just move on to the final bit of the podcast here. And we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets versus the Houston Rockets. Looking at it this way, the Houston Rockets are set to face them today at, they say at 9:30 ET, right? Otherwise, we're looking at 8:30 CST, #Iowa. And I think it'll be a fun game, right? Last time we faced the Nuggets, Jamal Murray went crazy. And we've lost them actually 3 straight times, right? Going back to last year, and March back-to-back in April. So March, April, and then we just lost them November 21st. It's going to be an interesting game, right? It looks like everybody is raring to go for the Nuggets for the most part. Huge thing last time was the fact that Aaron Gordon, he got injured, and then Peyton Watson took over. He had some other bench pieces just absolutely take over, right? We got out rebounded. They shot better from the field than us. So the big three things for us is just going to be the same thing as usual, right? Got to make your shots count, got to get your rebounds, and you got to make sure that you're out here actually defending your people, right? You need to stick to them, right? Like flies on shit, you got to be right on them. So make sure that you are defensively intelligent, right? You want to be a defensive playmaker in this game. And hopefully, again, this would be a really great game for Tari to come in and kind of muck it up, right? Since we haven't seen him for a while, he's probably not going to be very high on their scouting report. So I could imagine him getting some good steals for us, depending on how many minutes he plays. I probably got about 16, less than 20 is what I imagine he's playing. But I think around that 16 mark is my assumption there. But yeah, Tari Eason's going to be a huge factor. We're also looking at Amen Thompson, what he's going to do. I mean, as long as we can keep it so that way, Şengün is less on the perimeter, right? Not that he's been bad per se, but I want to make sure that we have our best available person out there on the perimeter, right? And not play this switch everything defense, right? I want Amen Thompson to kind of, be that aggressive defender and maybe let Şengün just take care of most of these playmaking duties today, right? We saw Şengün and Jokic battle last time, and that was fun and electric. Obviously, I want that, right? I'm all for whatever sells, right? We know Şengün and Jokic, that sells tickets, that sells jerseys, that brings in a lot of money, but that's not what it's about, right? It's about getting the win. And beating the Nuggets, especially right now, is absolutely huge for us, right? We're currently the 3rd seed, they're the 4th seed. This puts more separation between us, right? I don't want to go 16-7. I want to be 17-6. So let's make sure we get this win here. How much are we winning by? Great question. I think this game is going to come down to, looking at the last couple games here, right? Last time was 112, 109, then 126, 111, 116, 111, right? Looks like we're sitting around that 110-ish mark. Tari coming back. I imagine we're probably going to be sitting about that, right? Probably 114, but we have to hold this high power offense low, right? If they're scoring 120, we're probably losing. So I got used to winning, right? I'm a Houston Rocket guy. Some propaganda for us. Shout out to AK. But yeah, I'd say probably 114 to 109. All right, 5-point win, very close, wire to wire. But yeah, make sure we're being defensively smart, right? Sticking to our dude, making our shots at the end of the day, right? I'm talking about those little bunnies, Şengün. You can make them. I know you can. So as long as we're making them, we'll be completely fine. And then, yeah, make sure we get those damn rebounds. If we're running double big out there, we need to make sure we're getting those rebounds, right? That's what it comes down to. So this has been the H-Town Rundown, Houston Rockets Basketball Podcast. I know it's a little short today, so thank you for bearing with me. But yeah, this has been the podcast. Make sure to follow us at the HTRD on X, as well as at the H-Town Rundown on TikTok, as well as YouTube. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hit the little bell so you can make sure to join us, like everybody else up here. Appreciate all of you joining us. And then go to the website as well, the htownrundown.org. Check us out there. You can see everything we got. And then you can follow me at @GAWD on X, as well as Instagram and YouTube, as well as TikTok, man. Check it all out. Thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good time.